Before starting, I want to ask how many people here move out of your parents' house, live in a dormitory or rent a house? Please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. As for me, my hometown is Taipei. Some people call it Sky Dragon Land, 天龙国. And all of my schools, from elementary school to university, located in Taipei. So I live with my parents until now. I believe people who live on their own must know that living on your own have lots of advantages. For example, you can go home as late as you want, have lots of freedom. But inevitably, you also have to deal with the household chores and even cook by yourself. But as I mentioned earlier that I live with my parents, I hadn't experienced living independently by people who live on their own. But in a summer vacation before my freshman year, I made a brave decision to sign up for an exchange program to Toronto, Canada. And maybe you will wonder why I will make this decision. That's because, first, in order to polish my English speaking in an all-English environment. Although I have studied lots of English since elementary school to high school, but in mainly practice reading, writing, or listening, I still didn't have the opportunities to practice English speaking. But in Canada, without a doubt, I have plenty of opportunities to practice English speaking. Like when going to the supermarket to buy things, or going to take the public transportation and chat with friends. And I had a friend who is Mexican. When I talk to him, of course I have to talk to him in English. And sometimes I also taught him a few Chinese words, and he also taught me some simple Spanish sentences like hola, hola, gracias, something like that. And in Canada, the way we learn English is really different from Taiwan. In Taiwan, teachers always focus on the grammar, right? But in Canada, teachers focus more on the interactions between students and the teachers. And what we learned there, not only grammar, we also have a lot of interactive activities like debating over an issue or interview the people on the street. So it's really different from Taiwan. And back in Taiwan, I want to practice more English speaking. So that's why I'm here in NTU Toastmaster. And the second reason, since I'm a person who really likes to talk, chat with friends, and I want to make new friends and new international friends and talk with native speakers. And on the last day of the program, we have a final project to introduce our own country's culture. So I've heard the presentation of Mexican city view and Swiss chocolate. And what did I introduce? I introduced Taiwanese night market, talking about small eats and games in the night market. And I was so surprised because our classmates were really interested in the small eats, like bubble milk tea and some other small eats. And the third reason is that I want to live on my own and experience living independently abroad, stepping out of comfort zone. In the past, since I lived with my parents, there's always help from my family. Before the trip, my mom helped me book the airplane ticket to Canada. And what's funny is that she even contacted another Taiwanese girl who also joined this program to take the airplane and pass the customs with me, because she was so worried that I would get lost or be too afraid in this trip. But I have changed a lot afterwards. In Canada, I have to do a lot of things by myself, including plan a tour to a tourist attraction on my own and discuss how to get to the destinations by myself and or discuss with my friends. So I've grown a lot in Canada. In conclusion, this exchange experience had a significant effect on my change, and it also made who I am now. Thank you very much.